This is the story about the legendary adventures of a wooden puppet who wanted to be a real boy. He was naughty and made mistakes, but had a big heart and had the courage to do what is right. Let me introduce you to Pinocchio. Pinocchio dragged his heavy wooden body onto the sand. He had built a raft to find his father. A massive wave destroyed the raft. Pinocchio was now stranded on a strange shore. Pinocchio shook salty water from his ears. He looked around the island of busy bees. The island was full of constant motion. Everyone worked with great speed. Tiny dogs pulled wooden wagons filled with bricks. Cats swept dusty sidewalks with their fluffy tails. Mice knitted tiny sweaters at lightning speed. Insects worked hard too. Giant bees carried buckets of golden pollen across the sky. The islanders never rested. Pinocchio's wooden stomach rumbled loudly. He felt very hungry. Pinocchio walked into the busy town center. He prepared to ask for help. Pinocchio reached out his wooden hand. He begged for a free meal. A baker pushed a large cart past Pinocchio. The cart held warm bread and frosted cakes. Pinocchio pointed to his open mouth. Pinocchio rubbed his wooden stomach. He showed the baker his hunger. The baker nodded. The baker pointed to a heavy sack of flour on the ground. The baker pointed to the empty cart. The island had a simple rule. The island rule required hard work for food. Pinocchio crossed his arms and shook his head. Pinocchio claimed his wooden joints were too stiff for lifting. The baker frowned. The baker grabbed the cart and marched away. Pinocchio remained hungry. Pinocchio searched for easier food. He entered a large vegetable garden. He saw a shiny red apple on a low branch. Pinocchio reached out to steal the apple. Suddenly, a flock of angry crows surrounded Pinocchio. The crows did not attack Pinocchio. The birds dropped a tiny broom at the wooden feet of the puppet. The crows pointed to the messy nests in the trees. The birds wanted Pinocchio to sweep the nests to earn the apple. Pinocchio was outraged. Pinocchio refused to sweep. He kicked the broom away and left the garden. His hunger grew stronger. He soon found a sleeping farmer. The farmer sat beside a basket of giant orange carrots. Pinocchio tiptoed toward the basket. He reached his wooden fingers inside. A giant, grumpy badger jumped out of the basket. The badger wore a tiny miner's hat. The badger shoved a heavy iron shovel into the hands of Pinocchio. The badger pointed to the dirt. The badger wanted a tunnel. Pinocchio threw the shovel into the bushes. Pinocchio ran away from the badger. The sun began to set. The sky turned deep purple. Pinocchio felt weak. His wooden legs grew heavy. He sat on a cold stone wall. Pinocchio felt sad. He realized that begging and stealing would not work on this island. A woman climbed a steep hill. She carried 2 heavy clay jugs filled with water. The woman looked exhausted. Her shoulders slumped under the weight. Pinocchio ran toward the woman. Pinocchio rubbed his stomach. He held out his hand to the woman. He hoped she would help a starving puppet. The woman smiled gently. She did not give Pinocchio a coin. She pointed to the heavy water jugs. The woman pointed to a stone cottage at the top of the hill. She patted her stomach and pretended to eat a large feast. Pinocchio understood the message. He would earn a grand meal if he carried the water. Pinocchio disliked hard work. His stomach rumbled with hunger again. He sighed and grasped the heavy clay handles. The water jugs felt very heavy. His wooden arms creaked under the weight. He took a wobbly step forward. He continued to walk with the jugs. The hill was steep and muddy. Pinocchio slipped on a wet rock halfway up. He began to slide backward down the slope. The heavy jugs swayed dangerously. Pinocchio thought quickly. Pinocchio detached his wooden left foot. He wedged the foot behind a large tree root to stop his fall. He reattached his leg. He pushed forward with great effort. Suddenly, a swarm of giant, thirsty bees swooped down from the trees. The giant bees tried to land on the water jugs. Pinocchio swung his head back and forth. He used his long wooden nose like a bat. He swatted the giant bees away. Pinocchio did not spill any water. He reached the top of the hill. He placed the heavy jugs on the cottage porch. Pinocchio felt exhausted. The paint on his wooden body was chipped. His wooden joints ached. Pinocchio felt a warm glow inside his wooden chest. He felt proud. He had never finished a difficult job before. The mysterious woman stepped onto the porch. A bright blue light surrounded the woman. The woman's plain clothes turned into a magical dress. Her hair became brilliant blue. She was the fairy with turquoise hair. The fairy patted Pinocchio's wooden head with a proud smile. She had used a disguise to teach Pinocchio a valuable lesson. The fairy led Pinocchio inside. A large wooden table held roasted vegetables, fresh bread, and berry cakes. Pinocchio ate until he was full. The food tasted better than any stolen treat. Pinocchio understood the joy of earning his own way. He fell asleep by the warm fireplace. Pinocchio felt brave and ready for his next adventure. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next quest. A like and a subscribe will help us stay connected with you. Also be a great source of encouragement for our team.